Good morning and welcome to 3 Minutes of Truth. So yesterday we started looking at the characteristics of an overcomer, and quite honestly my intention was to go through the book of Job, but on second thoughts I decided to highlight one or two characteristics from all the biblical overcomers I can think of in the next days and weeks to come. Just to remind you, we said an overcomer can be defined as a person who prevails over or proves to be more powerful than whatever challenge that he or she is going through. Today I want to look at the famous story of David and Goliath. I really don't think I have to narrate the story to you, because even those who don't read their Bibles know that David was the small guy who defeated a giant named Goliath. However, there are two things I would like to highlight from this story that I believe are essential characteristics of an overcomer. As the story goes, Goliath was taunting the children of Israel for 40 days and 40 nights, and everyone who listened to the voice of Goliath for those 40 days and 40 nights was overcome by fear. Just as a side note, today is our 30th day in lockdown, and if you have been daily listening to the voice of the coronavirus instead of the voice of Jesus Christ, chances are you are going to be overcome by fear. The Bible says when David heard the voice of Goliath for the very first time, he immediately made a plan to silence it. We said yesterday that Job's initial response in his crisis was to worship God. And here we can see that David's initial response was to silence the voice of the enemy. If you want to be an overcomer, you have to learn to silence the voice of the enemy or negativity in your life. Because this is what I know. You cannot overcome anyone or anything that you allow to intimidate you. The second characteristics of David the overcomer is seen in the very first words that he speaks to Goliath. David said to the Philistine, "You come to me with a sword, with a spear, and with a javelin, but I come to you in the name of the Lord of hosts, the God of the armies of Israel, whom you have defied." Goliath was relying on his sword, his spear, and his javelin, but David had his faith in the God of the armies of Israel. Here's my point. You can overcome any situation in life if your faith is in God and not in the systems of this world. My name is Justin, and this is 3 Minutes of Truth.